In this video, I'm going to be making some drawers for my sofa, or sofa storage. You'll see what I mean. Let's click and play, and welcome to my bomb shelter basement workshop. That's not really a workshop right now. If you want to know why, I made a video about it. Even though I've got no workbenches anymore and half of my tools have been packed away, there's stuff that I need to build. My house is really tiny, which means I really struggle for space. In fact, let me give you a tour of the ground floor. This is my kitchen, this is my bike shed, this is my living room, this is my office, and this whole place is a mess right now. I also have multiple hobbies: camping, mountain biking, triathlons, snowboarding, gaming, woodwork, and I'm not the tidiest guy in the world, so I need some really clever storage solutions for my small house. And one of those is going to be some sofa storage. Now, a while ago, I saw a video where someone designed a shelf that kind of popped out from behind the sofa. If someone knows that video, please put it in the comments below so we can give that guy some credit. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm quite a tall guy, I'm 90% legs, so whenever I sit on a sofa, I kind of feel a bit uncomfortable. They're all the same height. So I'm gonna raise the sofa up slightly so I've got space for some storage and it should make it more comfortable. But to do that, I've got to do something I really hate doing. I've got to go pay for some wood. To the timber yard.
Unfortunately, my van was broke, so I had to take the car. So the guys at the timber yard very kindly chopped it to exactly the right size.
Back with the wood. It's awesome that the plyboard's already cut for the main sections, but now we need to chop the timber. All the wood is chopped, it's time to start assembling. Like usual, I am making this up as I go along, but this should be quite a simple build. Whenever I say it's simple, I always mess things up. The plywood isn't perfectly 90 centimeters square, it's 90.3, which means I'm slightly out. I should have checked that before I started chopping. Step one complete, and I feel like I made that more difficult than it should have been. Before I do the next step, it's already getting quite heavy, it's quite an awkward size, so I'm gonna move it upstairs and finish building it in my living room, outside, one of the two. Back downstairs for the second piece because it's easier on a flat surface. This one's going to be slightly different and I think you'll enjoy why. Or you might not, I really don't know. Now that both the box things have been put together, it's time to add feet, and I'm too cheap to buy some, so we're gonna make some. Now that the feet have added, it's time to make the drawers. I know for this next step I should be using one of these, but I have never cut a straight line in my life with it. And I know that's me and not the tool, but for this next step, I'm just gonna bodge it on the table saw and hope it works out. So I've got two handy offcuts from the plywood I bought, one piece of scrap wood that Jack brought round when I was making the wedding gift,
Which I would use to make the first drawer, but I forgot to say that on camera. The first drawer is slightly different and you will see why after I make the other three drawers.
That's the base sections done for the 3 drawers. I hate not having a workshop. Everything's wobbling, moving around everywhere. It's not fun. Before I attach the drawer fronts, there is quite clearly a big wooden box under my sofa, and obviously I want it to blend into the rest of the room. So we're going to paint it black, and I don't want to spend any more money on this video, so I found this Weather Shield black. Gonna give it a go and see what it looks like. Hopefully it doesn't ruin it. After assembling the drawers and then painting the fronts, I've changed my mind. I'm gonna make the drawer carcass solid and then attach the front to it rather than using those little furniture blocks that you screw everything together with. When I was cutting those front pieces, I cut some spares at the same height. These are going to be dividers. Now I'm not going to stick them in straight away because these new sofa drawers are going to give me loads more space. I want to figure out exactly how I'm going to use the drawers before I divide them up. So yeah, if you're doing something similar, then put the dividers in however you want, but remember to cut them exactly the same size.
With everything assembled, it was time to remove the feet from my sofa, give it a quick hoover underneath, then get the sofa storage in place.
The sofa is now on the base.
And then I said a load of boring stuff. Time to fit the drawers.
This is the bit that never works out for me.
Not quite sure what happened. I just forced it in and now it works.
Now that the first drawer is installed, we're going to add a little bit of pizzazz. Push ejectors. The springs are going all the way in. I think it just needs like pushing by a millimetre, 2 millimetres. I'm going to stick a screw in.
What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put the screw on the magnet so that when I close it, it'll tell me exactly where it needs to screw in. Hey, it's actually stuck there. No, it's poked through the front. Let's use a smaller one.
I'm so excited, I'm so chuffed with that. It's almost perfect. That never happens in my builds. Drawer, spot on. Front, perfect position. Springs, working perfectly. The drawer runners are just a little bit off. But apart from that, it's practically perfect.
So next it was time for the front 3 drawers.
Because the drawers are so long, I'm using 700mm drawer runners. Last time I bought these for the van, they were quite expensive, but I found these on eBay for £10 a set. £10 for one drawer, one runner either side. I don't know if they've just come down in price massively or that is an error. I'll put the link in the description just in case anyone needs these. Now it's time to fit it. Kind of hard to film this section, I'll do my best.
For anyone who's watched my stuff before, you'll be aware I get things wrong a lot.
We have a Goldilocks and the Three Bears situation. This one is perfect. In fact, it might be a little bit too perfect. This one is too big. This one is too small.
The one that's got too much space should be easy. Gonna put some spaces on there, job's a good one. The second one that is perfectly spaced, I'm gonna put the runners on. Once I add them on, it might be a bit too tight. The third one, I've got no idea. I cannot be bothered dismantling that just to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna do something stupid instead. If it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. Let's get the fronts on. The under sofa drawers are now completed. Very happy with that project. But if I was going to do it again, here's a few little improvements. The catch and release magnets are definitely not strong enough. I need some tougher ones that like fire the drawer out with a bit more force. I was being cheap by just using that gloss black, but it is a bit too shiny. I am tempted to take those drawer fronts off and sand it to make it a bit more matte. If I was doing it again, I would have like a flat matte black colour. And this one's probably the most important one. I would recess all the drawers. What I found is when I'm sitting on the sofa, your heels actually move inwards a tiny little bit. So rather than have the front of the drawers right on the edge of the sofa, I probably recess that maybe 5 centimeters, 10 centimeters. I think 5 would be enough. However, they are only minor changes I would make if I was doing this again. The thing as it is brilliant. It's going to help me out tons. Hopefully it helps someone who's watching this video. Yeah, overall, great success. So, as usual, if you got any tips, questions or suggestions, stick them in the comments below. I do try to answer everyone. If you could do the subscribey thing, that would be awesome. And I've got another video on the go. That's why the workshop's a mess. So I will see you on the next one.